Welcome to Carly Tackles, boxes of screws and nails. We are going to build an organizer that can mount to a workbench or to a wall. To determine the size of the organizer, I am using a scrap piece of 1/2-inch plywood and a box of screws, and I'm measuring that and marking it down the board. I have a maximum height that I can make this, and that's determined by my workbench. So I'm seeing how many boxes can I fit and stay under that height, and it turns out I can fit about 12 of them and come in about a 1/2 inch shorter than I need to. I repeated the same process in determining the width of the organizer box. To determine the depth, I'm going to measure the screw box, but make sure I have enough room to get my fingers in there. I'm using a DeWalt table saw to make these cuts with a 10-inch Diablo blade, and you may also notice that I have roller stands on the ends of this to help catch the board. I'll include the links to those in the video description below. Now that these boards are cut down to the proper width, I need to measure and cut them to length. I have the sideboards cut to length, and now I need to cut my ends to the right size. So that's what I'm doing now, using a speed square and my backing. I'm just drawing the line right from there and then taking it over to my miter saw and making the cuts. I'm doing a quick little dry run test to make sure all my pieces are cut to the right size and then they fit together nicely. I need to find the internal width dimensions on this box so that I can cut out my little insert pieces that will go in between each box of screws. I need to cut 11 of these, but this may vary depending on your total length of your organizer. I'm starting to glue the outside pieces to the base. Now, careful with how much glue you apply. You don't want a lot of run out and clean up your mess. I'm also using Rockler's clampets. These are meant for 1/2-inch plywood. They also make it for 3/4 inch to help hold these pieces in place and keep them at the 90-degree angle. The clampets are not enough on their own to help hold everything together, so I'm also using the quick grip clamps from Irwin. I'm also making sure that the side is flush with the base. This will be fixing any of the bows that might be in the wood. Once everything is clamped down, I'm going to use these little spacers to help line up my last piece. Now the spacers are not glued, they're just there to help me line this piece up. Once I have that in place, I'll grab some more clamps and make sure everything is squared and clamped down tight. In order to apply all of these clamps in the manner that I did, I used Rockler's bench cookies to lift my work off my workbench so that I could sink these clamps inside. Now that the glue has finished drying on the outside frame for our box, I'm going to be using a brad nailer and inserting a few extra nails for support. If you notice my little drawer down here, I have my air compressor already. I have it turned on. I had all of my nail guns easily accessible. This is my brad nailer. I connected it to my retractable air hose. And so it's easy when working in your workspace, just grab what you need and everything you need is in one spot and it's easily retractable when you're finished. Easy peasy. Our box is complete and we are going to pre-drill some mounting holes before we attach our inserts. I am using Ryobi's new compact brushless power driver. Came in a kit with the impact driver, or you can buy it separately. And I'm using a number 8 countersink drill bit to do this. If you notice, it's really shallow because I don't want to really go all the way through. It's just a 1/2 inch of plywood. So I adjusted my countersink piece to be pretty shallow. Help me put my dividers in at the right depth that I need to. I'm going to be using a full box of screws that I just purchased. This should be the least likely to be able to be squished and manipulated as I'm inserting these dividers, so it should hold its form the best. So I'm going to use this more like a spacer instead of measuring and making marks all the way down. So insert your spacer. Now you can use a speed square to kind of check to make sure that it is square before you fasten it to your box. Hopefully the help of the screw box will make it work. And then just using a brad nailer, firing in a nail. If you happen to shoot a nail and you miss the board, or it's at an angle and it's sticking through where your boxes of screws would be, quick fix to that is you can use a puncher and a hammer and just hit that nail all the way through. And then now you know where not to shoot your next nail, and just fire another one in. Problem solved. I gave my storage box a quick spray with black spray paint so that it looked nice against my workbench. And now that it's dry, I'm ready to install. When determining where I would like this, I wanted to make sure that my hitch pins could lay all the way down and flat, and that it doesn't come too low that it hits my wheels, my wheel brakes, and then it catches, because then I wouldn't have the mobility I need. I also didn't want it straight above the wheel brakes, because then I wouldn't be able to step on the brakes. So try to consider those different things before you just install it somewhere on your workbench. So I figured out that this would be the best place to install it, and I pre-drilled already. And you're done. The only thing left to do is grab all your boxes of screws and nails and insert them into the holes. Thanks for watching Carly Tackles Boxes of Screws and Nails. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you'd like to see more videos similar to this, please subscribe to my channel, Carly Tackles, DIY, Tools and Gadgets, Tips and Tricks. Make sure you hit the bell to receive notifications when I add new content.